Shabbat Shalom, my friends. It's been a full and rich week over here. I'm ready to lay down my burdens. How about you? What's going on for me is that Willow and I are very engaged in launching an online community around grief as a spiritual path. And we've been working on it for a year, where we've been refining and distilling, and Willow, with her artistic sensibilities, has been making everything beautiful on every level. I'm trying to show up to hold space for grieving people in a new way, really, even though I've been doing that work for so many years, 20 years. There is a way in which this is asking something of me that I haven't really been asked before. So many people are grieving on many levels, grieving all kinds of losses, from the most personal and particular and obvious to the most kind of global and collective. And there's a lot of reaching out, a lot of people wanting um, wanting me to respond to them personally. So many that it would be impossible for anybody. And so that's the challenge for me, is how to hold a vast open heart space for so many bereaved people who are responding to the invitation that we're extending right now to reclaim the landscape of loss as holy ground. It's like, yes, 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 yes. And let me tell you what I'm carrying. So it's not like I didn't imagine that that might happen, but just not on this scale. And so it's taking a lot of prayer and a lot of humility and a lot of surrender to trust that people's needs are being deeply met by the offering, even if I can't respond individually. The other challenge that's up for me, and I always try to be real in these Sabbath notes, which is why I'm sharing this with you, is that age-old question of the connection between what we used to call in the 70s money and the Dharma. I think that was a Ram Dass phrase, money and the Dharma. I was conditioned to believe that those two things were mutually exclusive. And yet, when this is our livelihood, what do we do? You know, it's not like I have a day job as a plumber. This is what I do. I offer teachings, I offer support, I offer sacred space. And that's coming up right now, because what you want more than anything, what one would want, I would think, would be to make a safe place for grieving people and not have to charge a penny. And yet we need to pay the rent. So, what I was just thinking of, and I'll close with this, is Judaism. Right? This is a Shabbat offering, so I'm going to refer to my ancestral tradition of Judaism. A couple of things. Judaism says that we are born imprinted in our souls with what is ours to do and give and be and offer in this world. And when we find what that is, and sometimes it takes a whole lifetime to find it and align with it, but when we do, there's this deep homecoming in our souls. Like, yes, this is what I'm here to do. I am here to cook for people, or to grow food for people, or to protest injustice, or whatever it might be. There's a sense of alignment. And I feel that so strongly with the Dharma flavor of Dharma that I do. And the other thing is, it says in Judaism that when the Holy One created the world and it was finished, she said that it was good. Later in that scripture, and it was very good. And therefore infused into Judaism in a way that maybe isn't present so much in some of the other traditions, is this sense of celebrating life, chayim, l'chaim, right? That life itself is good. So food, sex, sexuality, beautiful things, art, all of this is part of celebrating the goodness of creation. And so for those of you who might be struggling, as I sometimes do, having grown up in a patriarchal alternative community of Buddhism, Hinduism, Sufism, indigenous wisdom, thinking that we were safe from those messages. No, I grew up feeling like it's not okay to receive compensation or the exchange for spiritual teachings. So let us free ourselves from those patriarchal messages and celebrate life and ask for what we need and allow for reciprocity. That too is sacred. Shabbat Shalom. Much love.